Hey everyone, welcome to Shimmer Girl Talks. As I've told you before on my channel multiple times, I am not a political channel, but I do lean conservative. And I just briefly wanted to talk about the NAACP calls for sports boycott in states where voting rights are threatened. So I'm going to read an article. I'm going to tell you who wrote it. And if I remember, I will leave it in the description box. So I challenge any black people who allows the Democratic side to scare them and bring up old feels about voting. That's what the Democrats do. You know, your ancestors died and they paid the price for you to vote. Our voting rights are not threatened. You can go vote. And the Democrats like to prey on black people's feelings and insecurities about race and the past. I encourage anybody that's, seriously want to learn something other than what the Democrat media is telling you, go to some independent conservative channels on YouTube and get an idea, weigh both sides, that's what I'm trying to say, about what the Democrats are telling you in the media, because they overwhelmingly own the media and what is told to the masses, and listen to, like I said, the conservative side on YouTube. So with that said, I got this from NPR. NAA calls for sports boycott in states where voting rights are threatened. This was written May 28th, 2026. And it's by Jason Fuller, Joanna Summers, and Sarah Handel. NPR's Joanna Summers talks with the NAACP president and CEO Derek Johnson about his organization's Out of Bounds campaign that draws a connection between black student athletes and voting rights. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Joanna Summers, host. Voting rights in college football, at first, the connection might not be obvious. But don't play, don't watch, don't support. That is the NAACP's message to fans and families of student athletes in southern states attempting to redraw congressional maps to consolidate Republican power after a Supreme Court ruling weakened the Voting Rights Act. Athlete programs targeted in the boycott stand to lose millions if student athletes and their fans withhold their talent and turn off their screens. But the question is, will they? Derek Johnson is president and CEO of NAACP, and he joins me now. Welcome to the program. This is the last thing that I read. This is Summers speaking. So, Derek, in a nutshell, the Out of Bounds campaign is encouraging black college football and basketball players to refuse to play for top schools in states where the NAACP feels redistricting, it's a tongue twister, efforts are disenfranchising black voters, as well as for fans to boycott the games. Am I getting that correct? And Johnson replies, that is correct. And it's not what we feel, it's what we are witnessing. The Supreme Court handed down a decision which essentially opened the door for states to reverse progress made by African Americans and just their citizens in general. And within a day of the Supreme Court decision, the Tennessee state legislative body, they announced they were going to have a special session with the intent of abolishing the one district that's centered in Memphis. And again, I'm going to leave this in the description box. I know that there are a few black conservatives who explained this, and it's not the way that the Democrats are trying to scare black voters. So with all of that said, this bothers me that they're targeting young black males who are going to school, to college. I have my own opinion about sports being the only thing that, young black males seem to be interested in, sports and, creating a rap career, as if, there aren't other jobs and careers that they can go for. But for some reason, sports seems to be what these black males go for. So will these black males get scholarships if they choose to go to another school? Are they losing their scholarships if they don't choose a Southern school? And one of my biggest problems with Democrats, in particular, the liberals, is that they don't have this type of boycotting energy for the crime in the black communities. Yeah, I'm going to go there. They don't have this type of energy to try to cut down on crime, to try to fix the nuclear family within the black community. All they want is for black people to continue to cry and whine over racism. Never mind the fact that we are some of the richest black people in the world. And as I've said on my channel before, we are living the dream of our ancestors. They could have never have dreamt what we have today in America. And the Democrats and white liberals, they want black people to continue to feel inferior to white people. That's what it boils down to. They want black people to continue to feel this inferiority. And that's another reason, as I've said on my channel before, the reason why they put the black woman as the face of the black community. Because they know that the black woman is not going to fight for the nuclear family. They know that black women overwhelmingly delete their babies. And they know that black women overwhelmingly raise these boys by themselves. So they're raising weak beta males, son husbands, simps. This is why black women and white people cannot stand a strong heterosexual black man living in his purpose. They cannot stand that because they know if black men, chose to live within their purpose, the nuclear family is coming back and it's going to make us stronger than ever. But they don't want that. So they put these black politicians, Hakeem, Timu, Obama, Jeffries, the Al Sharptons, the Al Greens, not that Al Green. I love that Al Green, the music, the singer. They use these simps who want to continue to scare black people into submission. And that's what this is. And when I'm online on TikTok, it hasn't really happened in a while. But do y'all know who be attacking me the most when I say that I'm a Trump supporter? And I say this as a person who couldn't stand Trump. It wasn't politically motivated, though. This was from the 80s when I was a teenager. I just couldn't stand him. I just thought he looked smug and arrogant. Or when I tell them that I'm a conservative, it be those weak beta black males who be calling me out of my name and telling me things about how, white Republicans don't like me. Jerk face, you don't like me. You're the one that's calling me names. I don't recall no white Republicans calling me out of my name. It be you Negroes, you beta simp son husbands who is still attached at your mama's teats. So they want these young black males to give up their future, to follow the Democratic Party. And all that's going to do is create more soft beta males. So again, for the ones of you who are serious and actually do want change for the black community, listen to some black conservatives and get another side of the story. Because the Democrats, the black Democrats and the white liberals, all they want to do is just continue to sell you fear and an inferiority complex. And that's my topic.